Good morning. Hope we are well on this Wednesday, 27th of January. So, hope we're all good. Wanted to talk today about a few conversations I've had over the last few days, and mainly around language, actually. The language we use to describe ourselves sometimes, and how even between, like within our Kickstart program and our Fit for Life program, even between the communication between us as coaches and ladies on the program, that can actually be broken down by some of the language we use, unless it's actually really looked at and questioned by us. I guess our job is to ask questions to you to come to a conclusion and build your plan. And it was interesting the other day because, and this was reiterated this morning. So the other day, I was on a chat with one of the ladies who was feeling a bit like down that the scales hadn't moved as much as she had liked. And I made the mistake initially of not actually asking what the scales had done. I just went straight into, okay, what can we do? What are you doing now? Then we went round a bit and I said, okay, what have the scales done? And she was like, well, she was just over half a stone down. And bear in mind, she started in December, and we've had started of in-person sessions, then Christmas, then lockdown, now transition to online, and she's still half a stone down. Yet we can call ourselves these labels, which are just made with Velcro, and we can rip them off when we use them. In fact, you could say that they're like more post-it notes, like I'm lazy, and we just rip it off when we want. And yet we can call ourselves lazy, we can call ourselves I have no willpower, I'm a failure, all these things, all these words that we use. Yet what we often don't consider is, what would you have said to a friend who said to you, I'm doing rubbish, I'm half a stone down since December. You know, we've had Christmas, we've had lockdown, stuff like that, but I'm half a stone, I've kept the weight off. And it's really interesting how our mindset shifts and we've gone straight to this mode of, I want to achieve more. And we don't even know what we're comparing it to. Maybe we're comparing it to something before that we did, which is a quick fix where we lost loads of weight fast, but there's a reason why we're doing something else now. It probably didn't work long term, and we have to be kind to ourselves. If we're not kind to ourselves, you're just going to go into that mode where you just beat yourself up. And this brings me on to something that happened this morning. So one of the ladies, Jo, has lost 4 pounds in the last a week or so, 2 weeks or so, and that's after a bit of a real slow period, like, I don't know what to do here, just not changing. And it's really interesting because in our accountability challenge at the moment, you declare 1 to 3 things you're going to do today, then you just do them. And today, here's what she wrote: have been 2 out of 2 the last few days, just recording my food and my exercise and keeping to it. I maybe need to keep it more challenging, make it more challenging. That really interested me because when things are working and they're obviously going quite smoothly, we sometimes want to make it more challenging. Isn't that interesting? And that's great, that's fine. But when it comes to this stuff, why not just wrench the towel of everything you can get out of this? Because it's working at the moment. And if you're finding it like doable in amongst working hours, in amongst everything else going on, maybe don't rock the boat yet, because simple gets done, easy gets done. Remember that. Simple gets done, easy gets done. And sometimes, no matter how overwhelmed we are, and I know I speak about this a lot, we just need to get started. You just need one day of being really consistent, one day of just going, oh yeah, I did it. And you get that sense of achievement, which feels amazing. Then all of a sudden you want to do it tomorrow. And that's the difference. So then we want to do it tomorrow because maybe we felt better. Then all of a sudden we've got, and some of the ladies are doing it now, 10, 12, 15 days under our belt where we've been quite consistent. We're now starting to feel different. Maybe we're a bit more mobile. Maybe we're noticing, obviously not me, The bra strap, easier to put up. Climbing up the stairs, we're just a bit less out of breath at the top. Our legs are less achy. Knees, joint pain, reducing. All these things starting to happen. We have that sense of achievement that we can do it. We quieten down that voice in our head that says, I'm a lost cause. Which is simply not true unless you choose to focus on that. Because if you focus on I'm a lost cause, your brain will just try and prove you right, because that's what we do. If you say things like, we're all doomed, then our brain will look for evidence that we're all doomed. It's just what we do. We like to be right. We'd rather be right than free of those demons in our head. Oh, I'm lazy. Once I have one, I have 10. All these things, we then look to prove right because we enjoy being right. Now, when we consider all these decisions that we make, when you really simplify it down in that moment, every choice is a choice we make because we perceive the benefits of doing it as higher than the perceived drawbacks. So it could be doing an exercise session. If you're going to do an exercise session, but then you think, oh no, I'm not really feeling it, we're perceiving the benefits of exercise as lower than the benefits of doing the alternative. Remember, if we say yes to one thing or no to one thing, we're saying the opposite to something else. So if you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. You're saying no to one thing, you're saying yes to something else. And the reason I'm bringing this up is sometimes it's, and this is what I've done with some of the ladies, is just ask them, who else benefits from you doing this? Well, my other half, my family, I'm more productive. I feel better. I know I can vouch for that. I get more done. I get fitter. I feel happier. And all these things then trickle down. That changes the way we feel. That changes our energy. That changes our sense of achievement. And then we're onto it. We're onto that domino effect. And yes, you'll have days where you're like, today wasn't as good as yesterday. But just by being aware of it, like we're doing with the accountability and like we do with the Kickstart, just by front loading that accountability, you can just shorten the gap between how long you dwell and how quick you can get back on track. So, I hope that helps. Any questions, as always, do let me know. If you're coming in, if you have any questions at all, do reach out, let me know, and yeah, have a lovely day. And if you're struggling for motivation today, just consider who else benefits from this thing. What are the perceived benefits of doing it? What are the perceived drawbacks of doing it? And then just make a decision. When you write it down, you can make a better choice. And if there's a label on your head, you're like, I can't do it because I'm lazy, just take it off. It's a Post-it note. It's a Post-it note or a little bit of Velcro, which always comes off. I remember having those Velcro shoes as a kid. They last a bit and then they just stop working. And then they just keep, when you're walking around, they just keep flicking up. Happened with the kids too. Every 2 minutes, my shoes have come off. Velcro down, right, you need some new shoes. Anyway, remind yourself of what you've done so far. What would you say to a friend in your situation? Any labels? Question them. Struggling to find the motivation? Consider what are the benefits of doing it, what are the drawbacks of doing it. What are the benefits of doing exercise today, what are the drawbacks? Then come to your own choice, no judgment. Hope that helps. Have a lovely day, okay? And speak soon. Oh, and if you want more information about our 6-week Kickstart, do send me a message. I'll get you the details. Next start date for that is Monday, the 1st of February. Speak soon.